died.
Oh,
The one with whatchamacallit? So it's not a police,
yeah,
but it's they have a conservator because I guess the owners has dementia.
yeah.
So we've been on the contract since November last year. So supposedly when they went to court,
Yeah.
which should have been a breeze because everything was ready,
Yeah.
one of the kids contested the sin.
Oh, God.
So we did a few extensions,
Yeah.
and then I don't know what happened, but apparently they had to change the GLA.
Well,
And since February, it looks like it was decided, wow, there's going to be a new one, but we're now in the middle of the court still hasn't assigned something. And once the GLA gets assigned, they need 30 days to do a report.
wouldn't they just try to pay off the kid?
I don't know. But so I think they said that it would be ready the 23rd, but then my client was like, it's good enough. Walk away. But crazy fun.
Let's get real.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Real JEP podcast. I'm your host, JEP.
You know, JEP.
We're the Real JEP. So today, with our usual question, how you doing today?
Tired, but motivated and pumped to get this thing going.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, 3?
Episode, this will be.
This is episode 3. That's true.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I didn't think I was going to make it 3, but yeah.
We made it 3 weeks in a row, so
Exactly.
I think we're doing good so
What
far.
do they say? For it to become an ad, you got to do it 4 times, right?
4
Something
something like that.
Yeah.
But I think after 7 days, it kind of like becomes a habit.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's been an very interesting and incredible. I hope our followers have been following us and keeping an eye on what we've been talking about. But I mean, today I kind of like, for some reason, I have a boost of energy, joy. I don't know, maybe it's the younger than me, but I woke up today, I was super excited, although I lost 2 deals. But you know what? I was ready to crush it, ready to get things going again. I mean, maybe partly one of my excitement is that my daughter got accepted into a school.
Nice.
Finally.
It's April, so April, May, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's people, but I think our challenge is that we've gone to multiple schools and we've been hearing no, or kind of like what they've suggested hasn't been what we actually wanted. So I don't know. I think like you're a business advocate for yourself, but for your kids,
Of course.
you have to even double more.
Of course.
So we've been pushing a lot to kind of like get what we thought she needed and what we wanted for her too. So
Good, man.
to get that yes, so it's been cool.
Do you want to announce where, or you just want to keep that?
I don't know.
Keep it private. Keep it private. People don't need to know that.
Yeah.
Yet.
No, I'm excited and kind of like, oh my God.
Yeah. No, it's a big step. It's a big step, but I'm pretty glad. So.
Oh, she'll do good. Yeah, I think because she went and spent a day, and then the feedback we got from that day that she spent was pretty good compared to everyone else that she had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey, go. Proud of her.
Exactly. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, we've been kind of like doing some activities with her too to boost her confidence.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's definitely a product of her work, but I'm hoping a little bit of what we did kind of like created that yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good parenting.
Try to be.
You guys stick with it.
Hey, there's no manual for it. So
It's like, it's good to be there. There's a lot of bad parents out there.
sure.
I see that on a regular basis. So
Yeah.
did you hear about talking about parenting? I heard this morning that there was this girl that went missing in 1994.
Really?
They found her alive with a family of 3.
What?
And I guess she was like a private investigator.
Oh wow.
And they found her alive after 30 plus years. You know, it seems like she ran away from home.
Oh,
Yeah. Crazy.
crazy. So she ran away from home.
It seems like that way. It seems like because I heard about it on the news, and then I saw like an article in the New York Post about it, and so I haven't really read the whole article, but that's what I heard, that
So
he ran away from home in 1994, 1996. So they found her alive, 3 kids, and she's got a pretty good job. So I guess she wanted to be. She wanted to be
away from.
Yeah. So.
Hey, I mean, to run away after like that's 32 years.
Yeah.
Like, build a whole new life, career, everything.
I think she was like 12 or 13 when she ran away.
Wow.
Yeah, so she was young.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But, yeah.
That's what it is. But hey, I mean, that's a decision that was made.
Yeah.
And she followed through with it.
Exactly.
And basically, our episode today, we're going to talk about overthinking, the fear of making a decision, hesitation, and the cost of that hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's like, because I'm thinking about it, the way that things are going, people have been somewhat on the fence. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I look at it both real estate and kind of like the everyday, because with prices going up, with rates going up, people kind of like sit on the sidelines, like, okay, I'm going to wait for the market to crash so I can decide to buy, even though I'm ready now.
Exactly.
Or I'm going to sit on the sideline to kind of like, before I decide to sell, or even some people are making like career decisions as well, based on how everything is going. And it's all driven by fear of, I don't know, what I would define the unknown, or fear about kind of like taking the next step. What do you think?
Well, let's talk about buying fear.
Yeah.
You know, like from the buyer's side. I mean, I can understand a little bit. It is daunting when you look at the numbers.
Yeah.
When you see the prices, and then you put the interest rates, and then you put the taxes, and then you put the insurance, and then you see that big payment. It is kind of shocking.
It is.
But we live in a big state. There are opportunities outside of this little circle that we call the city of Boston that could be more affordable to certain people. So I guess the education and taking the time to explain things to clients that are really motivated, and not discourage them that, hey, maybe we can't do this today, but let's plan on the next 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
You know, don't mess up your credit. Stashing money is always a positive.
True.
And could offset potential interest rates increase.
Yeah.
And slightly pricing that goes higher.
Yeah.
And also, it is frustrating for us because sometimes when you work with someone 2-3 months, and then they're like, haven't found anything, I'll wait till next year. You know, hopefully things will be cheaper next year. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you really look at it over the last, 6 years, nothing has gotten deeper.
I mean, if you look over the last decade, it's kind of like, it's good sometimes because everybody, you know, thinks that they know everything. To break down the data, you know, this was the prices in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 24, 25, 26. I mean, do you see any decrease? Do you see the market crashing? I mean, you know, I'm saying that those are things that you can kind of break down to people that are really somewhat motivated or somewhat hearing false news out there. Yeah. You know, being scared to death about, you know, buying because the interest rates are always, You know,
Yeah.
it's so, they fluctuate so much, especially with everything going on in the world right now. But it is frustrating, but in a way, I mean, it is a little bit of a challenge for us to kind of educate those people that are really motivated, hold their hand, and if they listen to us, you know, they'll be in a position to react when there's a small dip or when there's opportunities.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, I think once you're ready, as long as you can carry that monthly payment, because I think a lot of times when people are shopping, it's not necessarily the house. I mean, yes, they look for what meets their needs right now, but it's the shopping of the monthly payment. So if you can carry that and you're comfortable with that number, it's all about like, okay, just pull the trigger. Because man, I'm thinking about it that way because I went to a birthday party this past weekend, and it's a family friend, and they know what I do.
Yeah.
And of course, the famous question, "How's the market doing?" or you know, that type of conversation. So we were talking, and
just interrupt you there for a second. That's a bad question to ask a realtor.
Yeah.
Because if you're really doing this full time and this is your career, the market's always good.
Exactly.
It's always a good opportunity.
But I mean, at the same time too, it's like whenever people ask that general question, the market, there's like sub-segment of the market. You have buyer's market, seller's market, you have rentals, and they all are behaving differently. So usually it's like, I mean, most of the time, I kind of like train myself. Once you ask me how the market is doing, is trying to kind of like find that, not just the positive, but kind of like that net. Why are you asking me that question? Are you thinking about doing something? Like, can I help you in that sense? And I'm always trying to pull myself back, especially when I'm kind of like with friends. It's like, hey, we can just have a conversation with me not trying to pull you into something. But you know, that question is always tricky. It's like there's no right or wrong answer to it, but it's almost more loaded than just how's the market doing. But we were chatting, we were talking a little bit, and I'm kind of like going to the spiel of what I see, what's happening, and so forth. And he was like, at some point, he was like, "Well, I thought the market was gonna crash with the way that the rates are." And I'm like, I asked him the question. I'm like, okay, why did you think that? He's like, well, I mean, they usually say the market crashed after a certain amount of years. And I was like, well, do you know the market crashed in 2020?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, but prices didn't go down. I'm like, well, that's not a definition of a crash.
Exactly.
So, you know, we went into that whole conversation, and then I kind of like told him as well, hey, I actually have a couple clients that we're working with, and we've been submitting over asking offers. And the most recent one at that time, we were outbid by, I think that time we received 24 offers. 5 of them was almost 100,000 over asking.
I believe it.
And I'm like, that's not an indication that things are not selling. It's, if you price it right, it's going to sell.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. But with that being said, I mean, if we talk market wide, I think the prices of multifamilies, a lot of the times, in my opinion, the numbers are super, super tight.
Yes.
You know, I think with the ADU that's being implemented around Massachusetts, I believe that that's a route to go through. Because you can, quote unquote, get your 2-family for the price of a single.
Wow.
You can convert the basement into a 1-bedroom, 900 square feet, smaller unit. That could be a future rental. Or you can convert a garage into a potential unit as a future rental. So, you know, I think that some houses, especially single families, they can give you an easier way to get into these properties and build your equity so you can get the type of house you want the second time around.
True.
You know, so I mean, there's always options, there's always opportunity, but it's always, you know, having someone trust you, to educate them and hold their hand through the process.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically having the right people around, because that what you're explaining just kind of like brought up that same a story. So I have this client that we met. So she bought a single family in the Manhattan area.
Yeah.
It was years ago. I mean, she's had it for years.
Yeah.
And she's thinking about kind of like, because she wants to wind down the amount of hours that she works.
Yeah.
She's older. She's thinking about the retirement. So she wanted to do an addition to the basement, first floor and second floor, to see. But the whole idea was that so that she could rent her basement.
Yeah. Yeah.
And generate some income, so that when she kind of like trickles down, do everything. And you know, so I come in, kind of like do the plans, trying to get the estimate. That's me with the construction that. And you know, and I'm like, wait, you're thinking about doing bedrooms in the basement. Why not think about legalizing the basement and get an actual actual market rent instead of just renting it by room? And she's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, if I'm really thinking about it that way, I think you'll get more value added to your property if you transform it into an ADU. And if, as you're doing this work, I mean, you're digging down the basement anyways, and you're adding a an extension to the foundation.
A little bit beyond.
And bond as well. It's not going to cost you that much extra. And she's like, well, I never thought about it like that. And I mean, long story short, we ended up kind of like giving her a plan and everything, even finding potential ways to help. She's hesitating. She's thinking about it. But I mean, compared to where she started, she now has a full plan that I believe if she does it will have the value of an AU in there.
That's a positive. You know, that's a positive. I mean, you talk about Medicare. My buyer, the one that I was telling you that until I get his deposit in my hand, the deal wasn't done. He sent me back down a couple of days ago, which I kind of saw that coming. And then I went into full rescue mode. And I saved the deal.
Nice.
You know?
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, he's been living with his parents forever. And he's been looking to buy a house, but he wants the city of Boston. And the city of Boston is expensive. So with this particular house, I mean, they priced this property originally $50,000 too high. And over the last 3 or 4 months, they've been dropping the price.
Wow.
So we ended up getting him the house for $20,000 under asking. Which I think is a pretty good deal for the area. And he's got the finished basement that he was looking for.
Nice.
So.
And he was about to back out of that?
I mean, but I think he's got too many people in his ear. And like I told him, hey, it's your house, your investment, your money. You know, I'm kind of trying to be a big brother with him, trying to, you know that, hey, it's your decision. In the end, it's going to be your responsibility. So no one else is going to be helping you pay for the bills. It's a good investment. And now it's up to the lender, to Leslie, to get the deal closed. No, she'll definitely get it done. But yeah, I mean, so it's kind of, you know, maybe he heard not only his family in his ear, but also the way things are going around the world that maybe made him hesitate a little.
I mean, that can definitely scare you. And if you think about it, there's always something going on.
Exactly.
When we bought our home, that was right before the pandemic. I forgot what was going on at that time. But when we found the house, which initially I wasn't really looking to buy. I just walked into a house and I was going to look for a client. And ended up was like, I could see myself living there. Now, it's been 6 years I own it. But when we walked in and we saw the house, we loved it. We decided that we're putting an offer. We went right at asking. And boom, boom, like shortly after, we were notified there's a multiple offer scenario.
Always.
And I'm like, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm at the top number where I'm comfortable at when I was looking at what I was making at that time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if I want to just get into a bidding war or just go crazy. So I remember we had a conversation with the loan officer, and then she was like, well, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. You're at this amount. You can go 30,000 more. Now it was an extra $150 a month.
Yeah, yeah.
Which you probably could do it, but down the line, the property is going to increase in value.
Mm-hmm.
And I know usually I try to do the logical, trying to sit on paper and everything. I was just like, you know what? Let's do it. That was 6 years ago.
And now.
And now if I look at the value, I'm like, I'm winning.
Great investment.
Exactly.
You know, so everything is timing, but you got to take the leap.
Yeah.
And no matter what, even if real estate goes down, it always goes back up.
Yeah.
And the next time it goes back up, it always goes back up a lot higher.
Exactly.
So it's better than paying your landlord rent. Because that's money literally down the toilet.
Yeah.
There's no equity, and that interest is 100%. You just flush another toilet. So, you know, not 6.5%, 7%, 100%.
100%.
That you're flushing down the. But then every year they keep increasing your rent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you don't win.
No. But I mean, as long as it's okay to have some hesitation or some reservation, I'll say. But as long as you don't let it paralyze.
Exactly.
Because to me, I think if you're ready to make a move on whatever it is, whether it's buying a home or something, that's because you're seeing that the opportunity is lining up.
Okay.
I mean, of course, do the due diligence, but if you're ready to do it, just do it.
Exactly. And if you don't think you're ready, I mean, 2 things: don't mess up your credit, and keep stacking money.
Yeah.
Those 2 things will always help, and they could also hurt you.
Yeah.
So if you go the opposite way, so
True.
you know, definitely stashing money is always going to be a positive.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're looking at your career or even on a personal side, you think there's anything that you hesitated on and then you kind of like now see the cost of that hesitation, or you didn't make a decision on something?
I mean, I can only think about, I always tell, every single time I'm driving around Boston, I always say the same story. But I feel like at that time I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So I went to a 3-family JP when I was in college, and they were selling that house for $199. Mind you, it was like 2021. You know what I mean? So, and right now that house is probably worth $1.5, $1.6 million.
Easily.
And sometimes I'm like, damn, I should have at least explored how I can buy that house. Because I remember about a year after, I started looking at ways that I can buy myself a condo.
Okay.
So I'm like, why wouldn't I think about a multi? Maybe not that one.
Yeah.
But maybe, you know, a multi around Brockton or around Randolph or around Braintree. But I mean, I guess that kind of taught me to kind of focus more on prioritizing real estate. So it was a hesitation, but
hey, like you said,
lesson.
Exactly. But I mean, like you said, you probably wasn't ready.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think back, which is kind of like similar to the story when you said when you left State Street. I want to say probably my hesitation when I started real estate. I think I should have just jumped full time right there and then.
Yeah.
Because hey, 4 months later, I made the decision anyways.
Yeah.
But I think I would have, now looking back at things, I would have accomplished a lot more had I made the decision I did 4 months earlier than that.
Yeah. I mean, hey, but now you're in a better position. So, I mean, it was never too late.
No. I think when the time came when I felt I was ready, I don't know if I was ready. I just made the decision. But when the time came, I made the decision to do it.
But to follow up with that, which is funny. Now I thought about it. So when that happened, I was 21, 22.
Mm-hmm.
And about a year and a half later, I ended up buying my first multi in Brockton.
Mm.
And in that multi opened a lot of doors for me.
Nice.
To be in the position that I am in now.
Mm-hmm.
Because that multi that I bought on Weston Street,
mm-hmm.
I ended up selling that property about 2 years after.
Oh, yeah.
And ended up buying myself my Braintree house that I still have as a rental to this day.
Wow.
So, from Brockton,
Mm-hmm.
Braintree.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I think that's to raise my family. So
Nice.
it just shows you how good timing puts you in a better position.
Yeah.
If you really want that,
Yep.
So
I mean, I need to say, just making the decision and believing what you have planned kind of like brought you that opportunity. Because, I mean, when you say timing, I get a little hesitant on that, because a lot of times people try to time the market or time the right time to do something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you can time the market.
No, you can't. But if you can afford it,
Exactly.
and if you're renting, so probably, even if it's a couple $100 difference, at least this property you own.
Yeah.
This property you don't. So if you're in that predicament, give us a call.
Don't hesitate.
Yes, don't hesitate. I mean, right now, I have a lady that Leslie pre-approved her about 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
She has a pretty good pre-approval, but she's renting, right? And then when she realized the type of property that she can get for her lower end of her approval, she was a little disappointed. But like I said to her, at least this you'll own. The other one, you can't.
Yeah.
So the other one right now, you may be comfortable with the size of that, but you're flushing money down the toilet.
Yeah.
The thing with her is, she called me last week to show her house. And the thing is, if you have a lease that's coming up in 60 days, in today's market, you're backing up yourself against the wall, because the chances of that happening, I'm good, but I'm not that good sometimes to make stuff happen like that. So planning ahead, 4, 5, 6 months ahead, it's going to be better for you,
Oh, yeah.
To make offers, because some of them might get rejected, to at least put yourself in a better position to make that move happen.
Yeah. But I mean, beyond just getting rejected, I think in today's market, you kind of have more than before be ready to kind of like reevaluate priorities, reevaluate what's like your wants and needs.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, certain area that you want in, either you're gonna find a lot of competition or don't find inventory at all.
Yeah.
And a lot of other areas you're gonna be priced out. So it's really, you have to, like you said, give yourself that amount of time to be able to make the move.
Yeah. Can I tell you about a pet peeve that I have with people? Right.
Let's be real.
Let's be real, right? So I don't know why I get so offended like that. Like, it's my kid, right? When people tell me I'm pre-approved for such and such, but I don't want Brockton. I don't know why that annoys the F out of me. Okay? Because then I ask them, so where are you living right now? And they tell me blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so you think that town is more desirable than Brockton? Brockton's a big city.
Yes.
Okay? But it has a lot of good parts.
Yeah.
Okay? And everything you hear in the news goes on in a lot of these big cities, and a lot of the stuff, it's a little bit exaggerated. If you want trouble, you can find trouble anywhere you go. You can find trouble in Oberlin. You can find trouble in Stoke and in Randolph. Anywhere. But people always assume Brockton, like you're going to go to Iraq. No. I mean, so I don't know why that annoys me.
So I'll say, like, crazy story. One happened in Mattapan, and one happened in Brockton. One was recent, one was way back then. But kind of like same thing when you think about like the risk of crime or being exposed to certain things. Because I think no matter where you are, each city or town has quote unquote good parts and bad parts.
Exactly.
So back when I first moved into the US, I lived in Manhattan. And so I used to, of course, go to school in the morning and then work at night. So I usually get home. I was like driving, so I take the bus, and most of the time when I come back, I wouldn't find a bus that actually takes me home. So I would actually walk from the station to my house. And one night, this wasn't about I'm walking from work, but I walked the girlfriend I had at that time from my no. So from my house to her house and then come back home. But it's a road that I did many times during the day, at night. At no point did I ever feel like unsafe. But that night, crazily enough, I got stalked by two guys.
Really?
And the first statement, I had like, a hoodie on, walking. First thing they tell me, hey, you look like someone we got beef with.
Really?
I'm all shocked. I'm like, wait, who, me? And then I'm thinking it's a joke. It's gonna be something that I no, but no. It's just two guys that are just out there up to no good. And when I showed my face and everything, they look at me and they're like, what's in your pockets? Look, my pockets inside down. I didn't have nothing on. So they're like, okay, you can go. So, of course, I walked past my house because I was almost home, past my house for 10, 15 minutes and walked by. But that happened in an area where supposedly was safe. Yet it happened. Recently, there was an incident that happened by my mother's house, which the area, I mean, I'm not saying is the best, but it was blind. It's like basically where she's at. It's usually Halloween. You see kids coming through. I mean, her house is known for the creepy house. My sister always has something going on there. But recently, there was a shooting happened nearby. And guess where the guy who got shot, even though passed away, decided to stash the gun. But so, I mean, which it was crazy, but it happened in an area where, I mean, the demographic changed quite a bit, was fairly safe. So, I think no matter where you are, there's some good parts and bad parts. It's like saying that you're not choosing something because, quote unquote, I mean, probably outdated data or the myth or misconception of an area is probably not going to do you anything.
But it's funny because sometimes when I have like a lot of hesitation and the buyer's approval is not that great, I always say, follow me. Okay, so I take him to parts of Brockton and I kind of surprise him. I take him by Brookville, cut through Holbrook. And I show him my house. I like it, blah, blah, blah. No, you're in Brockton. And sometimes that opens their eyes and say, you know what, this is nice, this is quiet. I'm close to Avon. I'm close to, closer to the train station.
Exactly.
So I've done that, and sometimes it does help. But just what you hear on TV, a lot of times it's exaggerated. And I go back again. If you're looking for trouble will find.
Oh, it will find. No matter what.
And sometimes when something's going to happen, it's going to happen anyway. It can happen in Hingham. It can happen in Cohasset. It can happen in downtown Boston. But to me, I feel like more things happen in Boston. And people are okay with it. But once they happen in Brockton, it's like the Patriots. Something... if there's like some type of a scandal, if it's related to the Patriots, it gets blown up like 50 times. I feel like Brockton is the same thing. When something happens in Brockton, it's blown up like times 50. And to me, sometimes I think that's unfair.
I think it is.
So,
I mean, it's like,
you got a lot of knuckleheads in Brockton, but I'm just saying, like, there's knuckleheads everywhere.
Exactly. No, I mean, one thing that I was telling one of my clients is like, if you want to do your research, look up the area. But if you want to have the best feel for it, take the time to drive there in different time of day.
Exactly.
Drive during the day if you have a weekend where you're free.
Exactly.
If you are available like later during the day and night, maybe when you're coming back from work, drive there. Have a feel for it.
Exactly.
See if you can see yourself living there. If it's a no, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
But making the decision based on what you see firsthand. Certain areas, no matter what,
No, exactly.
You'll know.
And sometimes, like, I mean, I live in Braintree. Sometimes things happen at the mall. That doesn't mean that happening in my backyard. But sometimes things happen when you least expect it. I mean, it's just, we live in a crazy world.
Yeah.
And sometimes trouble, chases people into nice areas. So it's kind of, you don't live in a bubble.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think Brockton just sometimes gets penalized too much.
True.
Hey,
I live in Brockton. I've been living in Brockton for the last, since 2014. 12 years. Yeah. So, funny story. So, when I found my house, since I'm around there now, I can tell the story. It's been 6 years.
Yeah.
I had the logbook store. I was there almost every day.
Really big hit.
It was close to, because I was staying with my mother at that time. It was close to her house.
Yeah.
And I can say I'm showing the house.
Yeah.
So I literally tried to have a feel for the neighborhood at every time, every hour that I could. So anytime I had a free time, I'm in the house. Walk in, sit down, wait for like 15, 20 minutes, see what happens, then go back home. So, interestingly enough, so it was always quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's an inside street, so never saw that much traffic or too much going on.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, after we closed and moved in, of course, the pandemic happened, things shut down like a week, 2 weeks after we closed. There's a neighbor in the back every Friday night.
Party Central.
Yes. Party Central. I'm like, what's that? That wasn't there when I used to. So it was party until like 10, 12 sometimes.
Yeah, wow.
I'm like, wow. And literally all I had to do is just step on my deck, grab a drink, and enjoy the party. It's like I was part of it. Then later on, I find out, because we're close to the motor vehicle, that's where the students come and do their driving tests. I'm like, okay, that's a lot more traffic than I was used to. But I mean, hey, it's actually gives some interest. I mean, these things didn't bother me, but it goes just to say, whatever you think of an area, it may change.
Yeah.
Whatever may be said about somewhere, do your own research, do your own due diligence. I mean, don't hesitate and don't just believe the myth.
Yeah. And like I tell my clients, this is your first home. This is your stepping stone.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, I made a lot of money from Brockton. Brockton real estate prices have been insane over the last decade. Okay. And the value is definitely a lot better than living in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, if you're living in your mother's basement, and you can afford Brockton, I mean, you do yourself a disservice by not considering it.
Yeah. Well, and same thing when you're saying numbers, like, I'm check my numbers, like, if I'm looking at when they bought my mother's house, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, back in 2014, $215,000. 4-bedroom, 2-bath.
Nice.
When we bought our house in 2020, I can say 4-bedroom, 2-bath, actually, just different style home in a smaller lot, $450,000.
Wow.
In a span of 8 years.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take you back to 99. Right? When I bought my first 2-family in Brockton.
Yeah.
I bought that for $100,000.
Wow.
Okay, $100,000. West Side. 2 years later, I sold that house for $285.
No way.
$285.
Wow.
And from there on, I mean, like I said, that's kind of gave me my stepping stone.
So you can't
go. And it's funny because like 5-6 years ago, I ended up flipping another 2-family right across the street from me.
Yeah.
And one of my good friends still lives on that street. I sold her that house, I believe it was in 07 or 08. and she's tripled her investment since she bought it. So she's definitely has hit a grand slam buying her first home on the same street. So don't listen to the negativity. Look at the data, look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. And if you want to just keep giving your landlord money, because you don't consider Brockton,
what I'll say is like trust your plan. And I don't know, one thing I've learned, real estate is all about the long game.
Of course.
If you play it long enough, you'll see the big return.
Yeah. You got to look at the options. Maybe that's me. I'm like a numbers guy, but I'm also like a risk taker. It's calculated, but I like to take risks. And it's okay. Because the numbers never really lie. The data from 5 years ago, look at the data from 10 years ago. Numbers don't lie.
No. Go ahead, boy. Hey, we're talking about hesitation, making decisions, moving things along, real estate, personal.
Keeping it real. Yeah.
But hey, I don't know if you saw the prompt that we have here. So I think we're going to open.
Yeah. One of the things talks for sponsors. If you want to sponsor us, just hit us up.
Him. Or just send us a message on YouTube at the real JEP podcast.
Exactly.
So, as you're opening the box, what story comes with the box today?
What story comes with the box? Putting you on the spot.
Yeah. I'm always doing that.
Yeah. I go back to investing.
Yeah.
Tell you a little bit of what's going on with me when it comes to my car business. I'm actually negotiating to sell 3 of my cars.
Nice.
For $12,000.
Free? Nice.
So we're negotiating. Going back and forth. But if I can get at least 10 clean, I'm probably going to let it go. And these are cars that I bought between January and February.
This year?
This year.
Wow.
So I'm kind of flipping for a profit.
Yeah.
The cards. So, baseball cards. Shohei Ohtani,
Nice.
But timing.
Yeah.
Because I bought them at a good time. And, so that's what I've been doing lately. I've been trying to see if I can sell some of the stuff that I feel the gain is good enough for me to cash out.
Okay.
So I can kind of reinvest that on something else.
Yeah.
And getting a little bit more deeper into Pokemon.
Do you think it's going to be as valuable or?
I think for long term. When I mentioned that I always look into data, I always look into taking calculated risk. Lately I've been looking at the difference between a PSA 9 and a 10. It's so huge that the difference in between getting a 9 and getting a 10, a lot of people say it's up to the grader that you got that day that the card came through your desk. So to me, I might take more risk into buying more PSA 9s and stashing them. If it goes up more in value than 10, then maybe I can crack the case and try to get the 10. Because the difference is so minor if there isn't even any a lot of times with these cards.
Gotcha.
So maybe one of these days I'll go deeper into it. and I'm hoping, and I've reached out to a couple of influencers to see if they can come on and talk about the car business. Because I think it's a topic that could be interesting to people.
Yeah.
Because the hobby is huge. And there's a lot of money, to be made. So
interesting.
Yeah. If you got any questions, hit me up. If you got a collection to sell, JEP. But let's see if I can.
He's the card guru.
Yeah, no, the card guru. So far, nothing here. Jadon, Campbell. Yeah, so the only one here that's decent is Christian Campbell. Well, right now he's in AAA, but hopefully he'll be back with the racing. But
all right. So I have Trace Madoff, Luke Keisha, Edison Brother, Chris Sale, Clayton Kershaw. Oh, another person.
Nice.
Randy Arizona.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Yes. Which one's the red card? Yeah.
Jordan Alvarez.
Okay, Jordan Alvarez. Okay, good player.
Javier Bikes.
Nice. Puerto Rican.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, like we always say, if this resonated with you, share your story. DM us. Maybe we'll read the story online. But as we're kind of like wrapping up, any advice you would say, if we're kind of like talking about hesitation that we talked about today, any advice based off that you tell people, our listeners?
Well, I mean, I go back to numbers don't lie. And if you need those numbers translated by one of us, we are the best source of that. So don't hesitate, hit us up in DM or send us a text, and we'll break it down. I mean, again, the numbers don't lie. And if you're renting, I would just say that your priority should be call us, let us educate you, and let us put you on the path to buy something. It doesn't have to be today. It could be 6 months. It could be a year.
Yeah.
And trust me, if the price dips, which I don't think it's going to dip that much, but if it does, at least we are 1 or 2 steps ahead.
Yeah.
To have you be ready to react and take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah.
So be prepared is never going to hurt you. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think whether it's on buying or anything, especially on the buy side, I think if you make the decision, if you're ready, don't hesitate. Like I look at back when I was in the process myself, the amount of inventory, the amount of choice that I had versus now, it's completely different. And I'm thinking, I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't find a deal, because I think the scenario is quite different for me because I'm seeing them every day. But I think the fact that I didn't hesitate got me the number where I purchased that. And now I can see kind of like the benefit and start thinking what the next 10, 15 years.
No, and that could be a potential rental property. You don't have to sell it.
Exactly.
You can cash that way, cash out that way.
Yeah.
I mean, so once you have a property, there's a lot of ways that you can make money on.
Yeah.
So the thing is taking that jump and making sure that you're basically prepared and put yourself in the best situation possible. So don't hesitate to call us. You know, it's a free call. We don't charge you. Even though sometimes I feel like we should charge, like a doctor and an attorney. But I mean, it is free.
Yeah.
And, you know, we love talking real estate, and
we do.
You know, we put yourself I mean, we put you like we're dealing with one of our family members. You know, and we've been in your shoes, so don't hesitate.
Yep. Don't hesitate. Hit us up, and as always, follow us.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Peace out.